Chris, Mélanie et Nicole. Donc voici notre agenda et je vous invite à nous suivre tout au long de la présentation. Donc présentement, le bureau des relations avec les anciens se trouve dans une situation où il y a un grand manque de reconnaissance ainsi que de vente pour les bagues officielles de l'Université d'Ottawa. C'est pour cela qu'on nous a donné le mandat de développer une stratégie pour augmenter les ventes d'au moins 20% cette année, ainsi que d'augmenter les reconnaissances parmi les étudiants.
Merci, Soa. So traditionally, when we think of the graduate ring industry in Canada, research shows us that it was a strong association with pride and culture. However, one shortcoming with major large Canadian universities is that many of them happen to be commuter schools. This means that the university itself finds it very hard to create a social and cultural bond with the students as they do not live on the premises of the school. One school, however, that does exemplify a fantastic ring program would be that of St. FX University, whose ring has been said by some to be third most recognized to that of only the Super Bowl ring and the Pope's ring itself. We're not far off culturally here at the University of Ottawa, however, we are at a small disconnect. Currently, we face inter-faculty competition. This is with the nursing pin and the engineering iron ring. It's extremely important to come together as a university to create one ring and one culture.
We broke the customer analysis into 3 target markets. You have your committed Collins, your potential Peters, and your uninterested Ursulas. Now, some key points to take away to note that 10% of students were extremely favorable when it came to buying the grad ring. This represents, of course, your committed Collins. Now, what's interesting to note is that this 10% of students that would buy a ring, only 25% of them actually knew a grad ring existed. So what this means is 75% of students who would in fact buy this ring are not aware of its existence. Now, if you have a look at potential Peters, you'll know this represents 65% of your target market in the student body. These are students either somewhat favorable or indifferent when it comes to buying a ring. They either have not bought into the culture or the value of the ring, nor do they know it exists. So we did a peer tendency test to see if peers influence or have any effect when buying the ring. And we found out was astonishing. In fact, 65% of committed Collins would be more apt to buy the ring if a peer or friend had already done so. Similarly, 53.7% of your 65% potential Peter market would do the same thing. What this means is it's extremely important to target these potential Peters, increase awareness of this target market, and thus increase the sales of your graduation ring. This ties directly with the objectives of increasing ring sales by 20% this semester alone, April 2011. We're going to do this by increasing awareness across campus, as well as creating and cultivating one culture at university. As Chris mentioned earlier, one university, one culture, one ring. We're going to use the faculties to leverage together to work towards one common goal and one ring. I'd like you to sit back for a second and watch a video on students' responses.
What are you? Let's have to go.
It's a TTO, have to go. Have to go.
What if I made for my University of Ottawa experience?
It's inspired me to go further with my studies, build relationships.
It's very inspired.
The opportunity to experience a variety of different cultures, getting to know people in different faculty, human experiences.
Continue studying in both English and French.
I'm really broadening my horizons.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Durant mon temps à l'université, j'ai apprécié la différence qu'un étudiant peut faire dans le monde.
It's exposed me to a wide variety of people. It's right here in the middle of Ottawa, in the heart of Ottawa.
It really showed me how to grow as an individual.
It's a place to make friends that are off for a lifetime.
This gave me all the tools that I need for life. I had a lot of athletic opportunities.
Take challenges, always trying to attain more knowledge.
It really helped me grow as a person.
Perspective.
Great part. It's a fun event. It's amazing 4 years.
Plusieurs occasions de m'exprimer, mais aussi de découvrir des personnes extraordinaires.
I hope you had the time of your life.
I don't know about you guys, but I get some goosebumps when I see that video. Now, link with leadership. It starts here. These are 2 very powerful taglines utilized by the University of Ottawa and their respective faculties that embody a culture and pride of just what it means to be a University of Ottawa student. Now, I'm here to tell you right now that the grad ring currently is not associated with this culture. Due to its lack of awareness and lack of people buying into the value of the ring itself, the ring currently finds itself on the outside situation. But with our strategy in place today, what we're going to show people is that this is more than just an object. In fact, it is more than just a ring. Now, if you look at your current positioning based on awareness and purchase intent, you can see that's in fact quite low. The majority of the student body do not know a ring exists, and those that do not really associate value to it just yet. What this means is you have low purchase intent. Well, the strategy that we'll outline for you in just 1 second you will notice that we will exponentially increase the awareness of the ring, thus directly relating yourself to an increase in purchase intent, and more importantly, an increase in sales.
So let's talk a little bit of strategy. Research has shown us that university students place a large emphasis on the University of Ottawa symbols on the ring itself. They associate it with a strong sense of pride, accomplishment, and culture. This is why we actually propose to enlarge this University of Ottawa symbol itself to really recreate the presence of the ring and make it more recognizable for students. This will help to really increase and generate purchase intention. However, on a more long-term basis, we like to look towards customization for faculty. Now this would mean giving the student opportunity to replace a less favorable logo on the ring itself with one of their faculties. It has been shown that students place a tremendous symbolic bond and significant bond and tie back to their faculty itself. And thus this will help to personalize the ring and really generate awareness. But how do we really generate awareness? Well, especially going to graduation season, it is extremely important that we increase overall exposure on the campus itself. We can do this by implementing more booths across campus and really increasing our online web presence. We can leverage University of Ottawa resources and networks to really increase traffic, especially to the ARO office, where students can not only try on a ring, but they can purchase one as well. And it's extremely crucial, however, to get into faculty buildings. Students really personalize their university experience with the faculty that they work with. And therefore, getting in there will help to tie back its significance to the ring and help generate awareness. So typically now, students actually pay for this ring with one large financial payment, which comes at the end of your graduation. So in addition to this, we look to implement a multi-year payment plan. So this will help split the cost of the ring for students into their tuition fees. Now the obvious benefit to the student is that it organizes their payments throughout the years that they opt in. And you can opt into this plan from as early as day one of your university career. However, the real benefit comes to the ARO. Now we will offer a small 10% discount to all students who opt into this program up to one semester before graduation to help create conversation. Now as Mike mentioned earlier, there is a large majority of an untapped market of students who said that should their friends show interest or purchase a graduating ring, they would be apt to do likewise.
Now, all great entrepreneurs have always said, start fast and let your ideas evolve. We plan to do just that with this promotional campaign. Now, if all the judges can flip to pages 3 and 4, you will see an example of all posters that we plan on distributing across this campus. The main focus is to draw awareness of the existence of the ring, as our research has shown that an increase in awareness leads to an increase in purchase intent. We also do advise the ARO to create a separate website for graduating rings, providing external information for the entire student body whenever they want to buy. You can leverage this website with social media on 2 platforms such as Facebook and YouTube to create a synergy among all your future promotional campaigns. Now, conveniently enough, we've already created both for you, and we'll touch upon this in just a little bit. Booths in high traffic areas is an absolute must, so that students can not only see the ring, but they can try it on themselves. And in the long term, we hope you utilize the free internal uses here at the University of Ottawa. Tools such as UOzone, uottawa.ca, and even TVs and other faculties should be there to promote the culture at the university, which indirectly correlates to ring sales.
Now, traditional and social media aside, it's extremely important to promote the ring on a cross-campus basis through a series of awareness campaigns. And the best one we feel you should implement right away is a graduation appreciation barbecue. Let me first stress by saying there's never been any graduation appreciation event at the University of Ottawa to this date. So if you flip your hand up to page 2, you will see an outline budget already detailing run-amok party rentals for inflatable rides and carnival games, food and drinks, and live entertainment, whether it be a DJ or a live band, for April 19th on Taberry Lawn. All graduating students, no matter the faculty or where they are, will come together on this day, and they'll share the memories and the culture with their friends, their peers, their colleagues. And as they're talking about their experiences at the school, they'll have a chance to try on the ring at one of the many different sizing tents scattered throughout the lawn. When they have this ring on their finger and they're looking at the memories and the experiences and the good times they had, they're going to realize just what it means and the value associated with this ring, and they're going to make a purchase intent right there to buy the ring. Now, what's even better about this barbecue already is if you flip down to page 1, you'll see a list of local sponsors already verbally confirmed for the event. Now, these are local Ottawa businesses and ex-University of Ottawa graduates who have already put their name to sponsor this barbecue because they would like to see nothing more than the continuation and the strengthening of the culture of what it feels like to be a University of Ottawa graduate here. Now, what I hold in my hand already are four tickets to the Ottawa Senators game in April. These are gold judge level seats. This is just one example of many sponsor-given prizes already laid out for us that will not only help enhance attendance at this barbecue, but will help increase the awareness of the barbecue itself, and finally, the ring and drive purchase intention for it.
Now, the inspiration behind the video you just all saw was us trying to create a viral campaign that captured a glimpse of the culture here at the university. We asked a huge array of students a simple question of what has the University of Ottawa experience given to you? We collaborated all their answers and created an extremely powerful video campaign. It was so powerful that not only did it generate hundreds of hits from the student body, it was actually ranked in the top 50 most viewed and shared videos under the category of peoples and blogs in YouTube on Canada the day we released it. We were able to achieve this type of success by tapping into the student body's social network once again on platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. Now imagine that the ARO creates a website and literally replicates the same type of model to create these short-term revenues. In the long term, you would hope to evoke answers from the entire student body so that you only have fresh answers and potentially even a new video. Now this strategy is tested and proven. For what is around the room is two students who are unaware of the ring. Upon watching our viral campaign, they even verbally confirmed that they will also be purchasing the ring upon their own graduation. One student cleverly states that $1,000 seems to be the right price for the ring. We have just proven that by increasing awareness and highlighting the culture, we have given an opportunity to change the value proposition of the ring. By evoking action, we have truly increased purchase intent.
Now, to really help increase purchase intent, it's extremely crucial for the ARO to create viable partnerships across the University of Ottawa. Now, we can do this by commissioning the student councils per faculty to actually sell the ring. Now, students place a large interest and structural and social tie back to their university faculty, and thus this will really help to generate purchase intention and brand the ring. While creating a campus-wide involvement, it'll also be important to create a second partnership with that of the SFUO. This is a student governing body here at the University of Ottawa, and they already have a large vested interest into the well-being of university students, along with a large network of resources and opportunities that can really help you boost your awareness and exposure here at the University of Ottawa for the graduate ring. Now behind me, you'll see a brief overview of our budget. If you look on page 2 of the booklet, you can see the barbecue, $1,755. We have a print media campaign for $600, which details 2 500 flyer campaigns for both the ring and the grad appreciation barbecue itself. Online advertising will come at free of charge. ARO prizes. This consists of 3 times $350 gift certificates, which students will be able to apply as prizes towards the purchase of a graduating ring. This still leaves you with $1,200 in a miscellaneous budget towards increasing awareness and overall sales of the ring.
Now, with such a limited time frame for this year's graduation, it is important that we move with a sense of urgency. It is clear from pages 1 through 4 that we have already implemented 75% of the immediate implementation strategy for this year. We just need the last quarter of approval from you. Shortly following this year's graduation, you would hope to create this website and really form up these partnerships with the SFUO and other faculties. In the long term, it is important to review and monitor these types of relationships and campaigns, but never forget that increasing awareness and cultivating the culture here is what will raise ring sales exponentially. Now, you need students to buy into this ring, yet you need to buy into a market strategy that is already in place and working for you. This is not a contest of market strategy, but more so a contest of market implementation. And with that in mind, if you flip to the last 2 pages of the booklet, you will see an estimated forecast on how we plan on meeting this year's mandate. Keep in mind that awareness and culture are difficult factors to measure, but yet we came with a conservative of increase of 40% of sales this year alone. Now, it is very clear that we've already seen a great concept put into practice today. Think about it. A group of individuals that come together for one common goal. The ARO potentially partnering with the SFUO and other faculties for one common ring. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the concept of business, and this is what has truly inspired our market strategy here today. But why more than just a ring? Why us? What does it even all mean? Around the room, you will see 2 graduating rings with their respective symbols. Individually, these are only symbols, but together, it represents the memories, the lessons, friendships, relationships, It represents beauty and imperfection, passion, growth, change. This is what the university experience is all about. Because together, we really are more than just a ring. Because we are the University of Ottawa grad band. Thank you.
What did you identify as the biggest barrier for purchase? I know you talked about awareness. I'm a bit curious as to why 75%. Wouldn't imagine there could be a ring, but what's the biggest purchase barrier and are you proposed to address it?
Okay, so currently, from the research that was done, it seems like there's only two implementations to purchase a ring. One through ARO office, which the majority of students actually do not know its location. It's on King Edward. And then the other one is through the online website. Now, students really, they've never been broadcast about a ring, and they don't really find out until graduation itself, and at what point it's such a financial burden on them that it's hard for them to purchase it. So what we intend to do to really break this barrier is to increase awareness throughout the year. So because we're limited to 2 months right now for the graduation of this year, it's immediate action with the barbecue and the viral campaign that has already been launched. But to move into the further years and longer term implementation, the creation of awareness, which moves into an overall culture creation, will just help students pass on through word of mouth that there is in fact a ring, and it's available for purchase, and we should look towards, like Jay and I said, putting more booths around campus so that students actually can see that there is a ring, and this will help us overcome that purchase barrier.
Thank you.
Great presentation, well done. You're investing about 1/3 of your budget on the barbecue, and I'm not sold to the fact that the barbecue will have that much of an impact. So I'm going to give you another minute to try to convince me that the barbecue will really make a difference.
I'll try to sell you on it. Basically right now what happens, and especially we can tell for a student, many of tougher students in this room, you can attest to this, that we sort of feel we have our own community. We're in our community, we come to Telford, we graduate Telford. We don't associate with the rest of the school, and this is a large issue. And upon research and speaking with other people, we realized that there's never been an appreciation of any sort for students at all. So when you graduate, you leave as part of the Telford, part of arts, but you don't really have that feeling that you're part of the University of Ottawa. So by having a barbecue this year, what it does is it brings thousands of students together. And what it does is these students talk about a different experience. Not only you're in arts, you're in science, and they get to talk together. So this creates an awareness. And obviously it's tough to bring someone to a new event. This is why we have so many sponsorships already laid out. We've gone to so many local companies, if you can look in the pamphlet there, and they've agreed to sign on because they see the meaning for this, and they see the potential for students to want to come to this barbecue. So by offering prizes and sponsorship to this event, students will come because people like winning things. It's just human nature, especially when you have about $2,400 value of cents tickets there. So these students come to this barbecue, and as they're talking, they're indirectly and subconsciously talking about their culture and their feelings of the school. And then, oh, what do you know? There are booths here ready for you to try a ring on. So this is what sells the ring, because now you've tried it on probably for the first time in your university career. Excuse me. And what happens is that you try it on and you realize, wow, first of all, I didn't know we had a ring. Secondly, hey, if a group of friends are buying it, why don't we buy this ring together? And it'll be sort of like our remembrance of the school. So that's the idea behind this barbecue. It starts now, but then people get ready for it in the years to come. So you start in the first year, and you see 1,000 people on the lawn, exclusively graduates, with large inflatable rides. If you're a 12-year-old at a party again, it's fun. And you want to be, hey, I want to be that guy in 3 years. I want to be that guy who goes to that barbecue. And this is what happens. It creates that cultural awareness from day one. So that's what's so important about this appreciation barbecue.
Thank you. You're obviously passionate and convinced.
I like it barbecue.
When you mentioned in your, in your presentation, you mentioned about the customization and personalization aspect. I'd like you to give me some more information on how you arrived at that conclusion and some of the feedback.
Sure. So the initial response that we got was that we'd be allowed to change in the short term potentially one of the logos on the ring because it's the stencil that actually influences the ring itself. So in the more long term, and that for us, we decided to change the University of Ottawa because research actually showed us that 84% of students place such a huge significance on this ring symbol itself. But for the customization towards faculties, we sent out research surveys to 1,700 students across the University of Ottawa, and research there showed us that students placed a very, very large emphasis on their faculties and the accomplishments and the pride that their faculty shows to them. So if you could actually tailor and personalize a faculty, you could not only graduate from the University of Ottawa, but you could forever share the memories that your faculty, for me, the faculty of Telford, will all forever hear, and I can show it off to everybody how proud I am to be a Telford student.
Which logo is popular, or which one would you
In terms of the logo that was the least favorable, now due to the 1,700 students that were interviewed, 2 of them came up. One of them was in fact the GG's logo, and the other one was the Fleur de Lis logo. However, coming into this time, we would hope that in the longer term implementation, students would be able to customize the learning a little bit more, to personalize it for them, so they would be given a choice of stencils and remove the ones that are the most insignificant and impactful for themselves to really create a personalized ring and really help them bond their university with auto experience.
For sure.
Okay, please remind me your name, Sean, who did the intro. You were quite eloquent in the intro, and then we didn't hear from you. But I would like to hear more from you, and I would like to give you another minute to sell this concept to us.
This is the MVP right now. This is
So, what would you like to hear more from me?
Well, I'm giving you carte blanche. You have 45 seconds to sell us
Oui,
on this
si vous me
concept.
donnez carte blanche, donc on a fait une vidéo, on a demandé à tous les étudiants, 20 étudiants approximativement, de dire, on leur a pas donné de réponse, on a juste demandé qu'est-ce que vous avez pris de l'université d'Ottawa. Et ils nous ont donné leur réponse, et c'est ce qu'on a mis ensemble pour vous créer cette vidéo. S'il n'y a pas de script, rien. C'est juste les étudiants qui sont sincères sur leur expérience à l'université. Donc voilà, ça c'est la vidéo. Et puis comme ils ont dit déjà, il y a les recherches qu'on avait faites. Donc, d'après les recherches, le symbole de l'université d'Ottawa, c'est le plus important pour tous les étudiants. Ça, ce sera suivi par celui de leur faculté. Donc c'est pour ça qu'on va mettre un symbole un peu plus large, puis dans les années à suivre, pouvoir faire une personnalisation des bagues pour pouvoir mettre des facultés individuelles.
Alors, sans plus tarder, roulement de tambour. Merci. Alors, bravo à l'équipe numéro 3.
Take a picture.